Hey everyone, I wanted to go over some new and interesting information that we got from Monster Hunter Rise, and it directly relates to the environmental traps that are scattered all about the game that people don't seem to be taking full advantage of whenever I see people playing online. And chances are it's because you've never actually seen any of these environmental traps in action, so you didn't even know they were triggerable throughout your normal playthrough experience. And just about every single map within the game has a couple of these. Some of them are directly environmentally activated, and others actually make use of the endemic life forms that you probably are already ignoring as it is, because most people don't even make use of the environmental life forms to basically take advantage in any one of the hunts. And the best example of that is probably the one that you'll see in the lava caverns, where you have in your map automatically every time you start a quest one of 6 triggerable spots where you'll be able to just take advantage of either a water or a fire environmental trap that, again, most people have never been able to see. And these can be triggered in 2 different forms. One, you can choose to bang a monster's head against the wall in that very specific area where it's shown in the map, or where you actually see this water formation or the fire formation. And the other one is to simply just put a bomb down and then either throw a kunai at it, or if you're a gunner, shoot it, or if you're a blade master for some reason you want to hit it, or anything along those lines, and automatically trigger it. Timing it perfectly will be able to have a big lava flow or a big water flow that will not only put a blight directly on the monster, meaning that you can actually do more damage to it automatically, but also knock them down for about 10 to 15 seconds. That automatically gives you just free damage, where you can just basically go to town on that thing and do massive damage. As I said, there's 6 different locations for these to appear just randomly around the map whenever you choose to do a specific quest in the lava caverns, but they randomly just respawn about every 5 minutes or so, just like if you would be like mining for materials or anything like that. They just replenish themselves automatically, and then if you happen to just be doing like an expedition, you'll be able to just use them again and again every couple of minutes. Another good case scenario to use these is with the endemic life form that is the little skunk, where if you basically put it all over your body, you start glowing white, and then if you go near a monster, the monster will also have like a white cloud around their head. That means that they're able to just chase you all over the map wherever it is that you choose to go. If the monster is in another area and you want to bring them over to this area to be able to see it for yourself, or actually take advantage of that free damage, you can do so as well. And basically, if you're doing like free hunts, these are like, again, automatic free damage and then automatically free down states where you are able to just take advantage of it in the best way possible. A more indirect environmental trap that you can take advantage of is actually located in the desert, and these are these big rocks located around area 9 and 10, where if you're fighting anything like a Diablos or anything like that, or Tigrex, or monsters that love to rush or like just do random big attacks and AoE slashes and stuff like that, you'll be able to see these monsters knock down these rocks, these big rock formations, and automatically create something that seems like a pitfall trap. Essentially, they fall down, their head is sticking out, and you can just wallop at their head and do massive damage automatically. A Diablos will be able to get their horn stuck in that rock formation if they are able to like bull rush you directly into the rock, but that's kind of like a rare instance that I wouldn't necessarily rely on too much. But actually taking full advantage of these sandfall / pitfall traps is pretty good, because they take the full length of the down state. So essentially they will be like, the monster is down for about 10 to 15 seconds or so. Whereas like if you put a couple of shock traps down, the monster's time in that trap will be lessened for each and every subsequent trap that you put down. Where in these, they're just stuck there the entirety and the full length of the trap. And these are another one of those that, like, if you're fighting monsters by yourself and you're just around those area 9 and 10, you can just take full advantage of those rock formations, because again, they're just free traps that don't necessarily rely on you putting anything down, and they'll just reward you with free damage. You can also choose to explode those rock formations and automatically trigger the sand trap as well, so that's also an option if you choose to go that route. Another similar set of rock formations can also be found in the Frozen Isles. I believe this is area around 5 or so, where if you take a monster directly to these two rock formations, and if they decide to basically rush you or bum rush you directly, they will get either their horns or their mouth, as you can see with this Tigrex, stuck into the rock formation themselves. So they'll break the rock formation, but as that is happening, you can automatically do free damage. And this happens with both rock formations that are specifically in this one area as well, which is again something that if they're gonna just bum rush you directly, you can actually just take full advantage of. If you've been to the flooded forest and you've seen the easy meat bait in the supply box and you didn't necessarily know what it was for, this is actually going to be rather helpful to you now, because these are just free baits that are automatically going to be triggered that you can use in very specific locations scattered throughout the map, specifically in the water, that you'll be able to trigger a couple of piranhas to just automatically attack a monster and stagger them thoroughly. And if you actually are able to do it for the full extension of the trap, the monster will then be in a knockdown state, although they will not be blighted like they have been in the lava caverns. So there is one difference in that regard. But you can directly activate these by simply throwing the easy bait trap through your menu and then just targeting the water as you see the piranhas just jumping outside of the water. And if the monster is around that area, you'll see them automatically start taking indirect damage from those piranhas. They'll start to stagger a little bit, and if they get staggered 2 separate times, it'll automatically trigger a down state and the monster will just be down for a couple of seconds. So you can just go ahead and just wallop on his head, cut his tail, or whatever it is that you actually wish to do. The last one that I want to talk about is actually taking full advantage of an endemic life form within the game. This one is located in the desert, where you're basically taking advantage of the pincer crabs. These are stuck in the wall. You'll never be able to see them actually walking around in the land or anything like that, and chances are you've only just taken a picture of it if you want to fill out your photo book. But other than that, they don't seem to have any other use, until you realize that if you actually bang a monster against the wall, whether it is through a rideable state or any otherwise, or then if you actually choose a couple of kunai or you shoot them with a bow gun or anything like that, or a bow, you automatically see these guys start shooting pincers and start attacking the monster and doing very low actual damage. But the benefit that you get in the other side of that is that they're just doing stagger damage. So the monster will just automatically start to stumble, and I don't necessarily know if they'll get knocked over by these attacks throughout the entire length of them being able to shoot it. But you can actually just take full advantage of the fact that the monster is being staggered. You're not necessarily focusing on any one person directly, and you can just automatically just start walloping on them and do free damage. But that's about all the ones that I know information on right now. I'm pretty sure there's other ones out there that people haven't necessarily figured out just as of yet. But it most certainly wouldn't necessarily surprise me if people start to figure out more of these as time goes on, because again, now we're at that point that most of the big exciting things have been discovered for the game, and people start looking up for those obscure moments, those obscure situations that the game does provide. It has plenty of, but most people haven't necessarily taken out the time to fully explore, because again, it's just one of those things that are the least exciting things, like trying to figure out damage crunching or maximize damage or the best skills or the best ability, so they start to look elsewhere for things to find out. But if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!